Hello, everybody. I apologize. I've been sitting here trying to get ready and felt like I was in slow motion. I am so sorry. I apologize. Do you ever get oh, that's right. We're going to have a giveaway for patterns. Yes, I better put that on my agenda. It's been a busy week. And, when I come home from a retreat, I tend to get lost in my own head. It's like re entry. And it seems to get worse and worse the older I get. So let me get this straightened up. I apologize for being so late. This morning, I was working on a couple things, and I put something on the website, the thin line paper, so you can draw a pattern for your landscape that we're going to start working on. So I'm going to do prize drawing. Okay. All right. I am sorry for keeping you waiting. I tell you that your time is too valuable to wait for me. And I got so preoccupied with today's project that it was kind of like I get lost, and I apologize. And even I was telling myself, it's time to get ready. It's time to get ready. I was still in this fog and felt like I was going slow motion. So I do apologize. Oh, and Sonia's here. That's wonderful. I was going to tell you, I got some new pictures from Meltem in Turkey. And let me tell you, she has come a long way fast with her machine quilting. So I can't wait to show you. Then I've got good news from our Dolores. She's had a bunch of professional artistic things come to fruition for her lately, and I'm not surprised because she's so talented, but I'm so happy. You know, Mark and I this past week have been watching Leonardo da Vinci, the special by Ken Burns, and it was so good. But it shows you how it's always been hard to make a living being an artist, very hard. And I'm just amazed that she is selling so many things and got private commissions, and something of hers is going to be on Art Quilts, show 3101, I believe. So how exciting is that? Then I've got some great information from Polly on how she made her confetti quilt. Wait till you see it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I get so excited when I see your work and when I can show it off, because I think that, what is it, that saying they make, that a high tide lifts all ships? And I feel like that one person's success can benefit us a lot. So it has been a busy week. Let me catch you up on that. Um, Monday, I had my audio appointment to order my hearing aids. Tuesday, our Maisie got a dental. Wednesday, I groomed Gromit, which is a big job because I don't have good dog groomers. And so I did scissor cut on him. And that's always a little nerve wracking and takes a good length of time, but he looks really good. And I want to get ready and show you. Whoops, let me try this again. So we have been really busy. Oh, I don't like the coloring of this. The low light. This is a quilt that hangs in my hallway, but it's turquoise and lime green. So unfortunately, I'll have to take another picture of it. But I was upstairs and I took a picture of oh, took a picture of the quilts in my upstairs room. And yes, I have a flatty of Dale Earnhardt Jr., real fond. I don't watch NASCAR anymore, but I used to just love watching him race. But that is a row robin quilt that I made with my former group. Okay, now come on, picture. Let's do this. All right, here is, because I thought instead of taking these quilts down, I'll take a picture while I'm up here taking pictures. This is a cute little, let me see if I'll get it to focus. It's a cute little sewing quilt. And I love quilts where you can put three-dimensional objects on. Okay, let me see. Here is the first quilt I ever entered in a show. It is called King of the Dawn. And yes, those are actual chicken feathers on that quilt. But this one made it into a show up in Pennsylvania some years ago, probably 5 years ago or more. But I love that quilt. And then the whole reason I brought these photos up, oh, come on. I'm not very good with my phone. I see all these people swiping and it doesn't work for me. Okay. Mark was wonderful. We've been so busy. Yesterday, he had to take the old clothes dryer to the dump, and then he came home and put my new machine in my upstairs desk. And I had to really think about it because he had to cut a big hole out of that desk. Okay, so there's my upstairs. I call it the frame room because it has my long arm frame over there on the right. But I went ahead and put it upstairs instead of putting it down here because I don't like going up and down the stairs numerous times a day. And I find that if I have it up there, then I can more easily start dinner, let the dogs outside, all of that. So now let me see. Come on, pictures. It thinks I'm not done with them. Hold on. No, I'm not going to take a video. No. Hold on. I am very discombobulated today. Okay, here it is. So here is the new machine sitting in. Let me see if I can turn this. Okay, here we go. Here's the new machine. Whoops. Sitting upstairs in my desk. So I think that's where it's going to stay. And I got a chance. I haven't even touched that new machine until today, this morning, for just a little bit. And I wanted to show Mark why it's such an easy and delightful machine to work with. So that's all I wanted to show you of that. This week, also in between all the other stuff, I worked on getting that room organized and cleaned out because I knew we were going to put the new machine up there. And the room, sometimes when I get busy, stuff just gets tossed in there. And it was a mess. And pardon me if I've got the sniffles. I'm out of my allergy medicine right now, and it's due to come in soon. But it makes me sniffle a lot. Okay, so not only did I go to my hearing appointment Monday, Tuesday, have the dog's dental, which, takes up a day. I have to have her there before 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, and besides that, I went in for a little lab urinalysis check after I dropped her off to have her dental and then had to go back and get her. Then Wednesday, my granddaughter, Charlie, came over and I'm going to finish them up, but we're working on some window seat cushion recovering. And here is the beautiful fabric she chose. Love, love, love it. And so I still have 3 more to cover, but she was able to take one home with her, and I'll have the others ready when we go over there Thanksgiving Day. So I did that on Wednesday, cleaned up the room Wednesday also. No, it was Thursday. I groomed Gromit, cleaned out my frame room upstairs. I have been trying to clean up all the rooms because the house had just reached that point where I couldn't stand the dirtiness anymore. So I've been getting that done. Then I made another big batch of my cauliflower soup, and that took me over an hour just to cut everything up to go in it. And so we got that done. So it's just been this busy time. And I kept telling myself, get up Sunday morning and work on that undersea quilt because y'all have been so patient. And I wouldn't blame you if your patience runs out. So, but instead of doing the undersea quilt, I got hung up on uh, a little pre-holiday thing. Oh well, but I do have another activity to show you, which I think will be interesting. And all right, so I'm looking at, let me see. Nope, somebody's messaging me. Hold on. I apologize. This is so okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. My girls were focused out. I'm very scattered today. I apologize. All right. So I was thinking of something we could do fun. Since we've got a Thanksgiving week, and I figured that everybody will be really busy this week. Um, if they're at all traveling or entertaining people for Thanksgiving, I've got it lucky. I only have to make a sweet potato pie and my sourdough rolls. So I got off easy. Becky and Andy are doing all of the cooking. So this is what we're thinking. Oh, thank you, Miss Mary. And I'm gonna come back and see all who's here. Um, so um oh, did Mark do a how-to video to cut the desk to put the machine in? Is that what you're asking? I'm wondering. But what I thought is, how would y'all feel about maybe a Saturday morning live Jitsi chat where we can sew and chat? I was thinking Saturday. I thought, well, Friday's the day after Thanksgiving, but people are still going to be busy and tired and everything. So, what do you think of Saturday? And because I just have something to do on Thanksgiving Day, I'm going over to Becky's. But then I'll have time. And I thought Saturday morning we could do a Jitsi thing. Now, if you're busy, don't worry. But for some of those people who don't travel or have people traveling to them, I thought it might be a good time for us just to sew together. The nice thing about our Jitsi is you don't have to type. You just talk and you can decide whether you want to be on camera or not. It doesn't matter. And it's just our group that sees it. It doesn't go out to the World Wide Web. So if you think you might be interested, I will. Saturday's fine with Bonnie. Yay. Oh, her Thanksgiving's going to be Tuesday. Mary could do, okay. So let me type in our time to quilt at twc.com. Okay. I will have the Jitsi link is already on the website, but if some of you don't get into the website, I will check my email, and I gave you that. Oh, good, Pat. So that way you can write and say, how do I get in? And I'll send you the link. and you can come on in and talk. And you might even want to try that link that's on, if you are comfortable getting it off the site, try that link that is posted. It's pinned on our site. When you go to our site and go to messages, it's pinned there, and try the link and kind of get comfortable with it. But put out the word. You are welcome to invite a friend who might want to come along and sew. Be thinking about what project you'd like to work on. It can be something just for fun or something you're working on for Christmas. So, because we all have Christmas to get ready for. And that brings me to another thing I was going to talk about with you. The past couple years, I've done all kinds of Christmas ornaments. I'm not feeling it this year. I know that a lot of us have had problems with um, not feeling the whole motivation to be creative. And I'm understanding that so much. But Marcia's here today. Oh, Marcia, where is it? I have something to mail to our Marcia. And, Mark's getting ready to retire from Pepsi. So we know that our Marcia is quite the Pepsi fan. So we will be sending you this blanket. He just came home with this. And I said, can I have it for Marcia? I think that she would enjoy it. So, Marcia, I will be getting that in the mail to you. I can't promise this week. It might be the next week. But I'm going to leave it where I can see it to remind me to get it in the mail. Okay. All right. So I might not be doing that many Christmas decorations this year. And I apologize, but I'm kind of at the stage in my life. It gets very hard to force myself to do something that I'm just not in the mood for. And maybe it's the mule stage of life. I don't know. But that sounds about right. And I might stick with that excuse. But anyway, what time on Saturday? Lisa, hi, sweetie. Yeah, why don't we do it 11 a.m. Eastern time? That won't give you too much time. Will that give you enough time? I guess, Lisa, because I'm worried about people in time zones further out. But yeah, Macy's parade should be on Thursday. Yep. So 11 a.m. Eastern time. So then Central, that would be 12. And then, on and on. Is that good? Okay. 11 a.m. I will be here. I'll be here a little bit early, and I'll be ready. If anyone has trouble, send me that email and I'll try to help you out. Okay. And in fact, Mark will be here too. So maybe he can, you know what? I might have him sit in a little bit so he can help direct people or whatever. So that will be good. And I've been thinking about a lot of things for the new year, because I'm not able to do as much as I want right now on the channel. And I've been talking a long time about doing brief little videos that have a certain skill. How do I make flying geese? How do I make 8 half square triangles at a time? All of those things that, would you can, if there's something you need to do, you can go and check, and in just a couple minutes, boom, you know exactly what to do. How do I paper piece and not get it backwards? All of that. So with Mark retiring, he has agreed to help me make those videos, and he has a good eye about making them brief and to the point and all of that. And I'm hoping that he will edit them for me, because I'm not good at editing. I'm just not. It's not my thing. So keep that in mind for January. I'm finally, and if there are certain topics, I invite you to send me an idea for a topic, something that confuses you, and we'll just go one by one down the list and get these, get all the skills loaded up where you can easily find them at any point in time. So, Monkey Mary, she got pizza with the Pizza Hut the other night. Oh, that's so cute. Well, let's see who's here. And then I have quite a few things to cover and talk about. So let me go back to the beginning. Um, oh, one of these days, if I'm not ready on time, I'm gonna make myself come on here without makeup. That's a scary proposition. But anyway, Marsha's the first person here, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Polly is here. Got some new pictures from Polly. I already told you that. That's right. Then Laura. Hi, Laura. Bonnie. Bonnie, I wrote a note to you on the site this morning. You have been amazing, putting so many opportunities and free patterns on our site. I don't know what I would do without you, because it's just I've been so crazy busy, and you find the best stuff. So thank you so much, Bonnie. I like giving you that credit because it's wonderful. All right. Pat is here. Oh, it's so good to see Mary. I'm so tickled you're back. And Mary, do you belong to our groups IO? Do you get the emails from that group? Because if not, I want to make sure that you're there. We have been loving seeing you in here. And then, we have our, oh gosh, let me think. Hold on. Alberta. Do you know our Alberta has already had her 80th birthday? I'm just amazed. That amazes me that she gets so much done. Oh, okay. You're in Northern California, Mary. So good to see you. Okay. Oh, Crafty Pat's birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, and don't you look like a nice young 74, you? That's wonderful. Happy birthday, Pat. Oh, that's so nice. And I love when you can share. So that is good. Now let me see. Sonia, hi, beautiful. I got a cool machine, Sonia. I think of you when I sew on it because you have that really beautiful, I think it's a baby lock machine that sings to you and everything. And I got one. It doesn't sing to me the same as yours, but I like the little sounds it makes. So, okay. So Polly is here. Our monkey Mary, I've been missing you. So, oh, it's so good to see all of you. Kathy Klein, hi, sweetheart. And Kathy Klein, one day I didn't even realize she was here until, oh, I've got a cute story. Okay, Lisa's Quilting Corner. She said she loves Dale Jr. too. I got to tell you the cutest story. We used to have a dog. She passed about 5 years ago or more. And I used to have a dog named Mia. And she was Mark's heart dog. He loved that dog. Well, he brought her because he was with Pepsi and he saw that Dale Jr., I think they call him a flatty or something. It's like on cardboard, a picture on cardboard. And they're sales things that soda companies and other companies use. And so he brought that home for me. I was thrilled. First, we put it in the living room. And at first, our little Mia, she was a Jack Russell poodle mix. Smart, smart dog. Fun, just wonderful dog. And she first barked when she saw him standing over in front of the bookcase. And then we tried to film it, but it happened so fast, and it only happened one time. She brought a toy and put it by the feet of Dale Jr.'s cardboard picture and wanted him to play ball with her. It was so cute. I wish I could have gotten a good video of it because I was going to send it to Dale Jr. because we just cracked up. She was sure he was standing there, but she didn't understand why he wouldn't play with her. So that is cute, cute story. All right, let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can get Mark to give us a couple ideas and show because it's cutting out a desk and he had to add support underneath, and it's knowing how to cut out, how deep to cut out, where are the buttons on the machine, can you plug it in when you put it in a desk. And this desk is like a thick press board desk that we got, and it did a good job, but he had to put, some boards to raise it just to the right height. If he had lowered it flush with the desk, it would have made it impossible to plug in and turn on. So, and he didn't want to cut anything extra that he had to, because you've got to worry about the support. But I absolutely love a machine that is set in to a table. And let me show you real quick. This one also, he cut this. This is an old teacher's desk we got off of Craigslist, and he cut this one for me. Now, um, it, I use there. I had another machine. I had put my Juki in here, so I had to cut it out more in the front. So now we just put tape across, and just to make sure that too many things don't fall in. But the desk upstairs, he's done a more perfect job, and it's very, very nice. All right, so that would be something good. He can make a video, and how do you set a machine in a desk, and he can show you how he puts. What we tend to do is, where there's a drawer where the person sits at the desk, use it as a drawer right there. So we use that space to put the machine into. You just have to make sure that first you go under and put in bracing and supports as needed. So, because the last thing you want is your machine to disappear through the desk. That wouldn't be good, especially since my heart dog, Gromit, lays under my desk all the time. But that would be good for us. That is a very good topic. I love it. All right. Let's see. Oh, Bonnie and her move. Yes. Oh, Bonnie, wasn't that amazing how you... Oh. And thank you, Mary, once again for doing the thumbs up. Oh, has anybody had commercials today? Because I forgot to go check and turn them off. And I'm going to try very hard. My goal is to not have commercials during our live, but commercials on the replay. So, okay. I'm hoping I caught everybody that's here. And it is so good seeing you. All right. So anybody who is a regular watcher, and if you want to join our Saturday Jitsi, use the email. Even if you don't belong to the free groups IO, use the email. Send me an email. That way I'll have your email address so I can send you the invitation to join in. And it's just fun. We just sit, talk, and chat, and all of that. So, okay. All righty. Let me see. Y'all are all so sweet, and I love seeing y'all chat. So, okay, the next subject on there, upcoming projects. I'm getting more and more excited about I'm getting more and more excited about the 3D embroidery, hand embroidery. And I just love what people are doing now with embroidery to give it a new, fresh look. Because I thought about some of, the embroideries, and with quilting on all my spare walls, it's like, what do you do with the embroidery? But these new three-dimensional embroideries are so cool. So, Sonia got a commercial. Okay. You know what? It might be something. Lisa, thank you for mentioning that. It may be something. Mark and I are very fond of YouTube, our YouTube videos. So it might pay for us to do the premium as well. We'll check into that. Okay. So I'm hoping to have at least one day this week to work on my Italian mosaic cathedral floors quilt that I'm working on mosaic floors. And I have just been running so hard. Although I do have a doctor's appointment this week, just my regular semi-annual checkup. So I hope nothing's going to be too cumbersome with that. And my oldest child now has to have her first colonoscopy. And you know you're getting old when your children are old enough to need their to start getting colonoscopies. Like, oh no. So I've got to remember to write Becky and say, you know, good luck tomorrow. So, and I'm hoping I've got to do one right away too. It's been 10 years. So I'll find out if they have any new tricks to the system. But okay, then I'm hoping to have one day all to myself. Oh, let me show you a couple things. So when we do the two things that we're going to work on is the three-dimensional hand embroidery, and I would like to make a thin lined quilt. I tried doing one time and it came out so striking, even though it looks like there's a moon in there and there wasn't supposed to be one, but the way it came out, it's so striking. And I would like to do a sunset on the lake, not quite like this, but similar enough. So what I did is it's really important with these that you put some thought into where you're going to have whatever goes into the composition. So what I did is I made this paper up in Word program. I put it on the Groups.io site, our Groups.io site. It's in the file. Print out as many as you want, and then use this to kind of map out with a pencil where you want whatever you're going to do on your landscape. Mine's going to be a wetscape. It's going to be a lakescape. And I'm actually going to use some real, what is the metallic shiny material? Lame. I'm going to use some gold lame because I remember a sunset at the lake that it just played gold all over the water. It was so beautiful. So I'm going to try to recreate that. But I'm going to draw the pattern on here and with that figure out where I'm going to cut along each line. The way I'm thinking of doing it is having all these strips that get sewn together. And in the strip, it may have several different fabrics, and I'm going to try to join them at an angle it where possible. But I guess if it, it kind of, if you look at this up close, I saw this and it reminded me, there are all different kinds of ways. Now here, there is an orange strip right there that was sewn on top. And what I'm going to try to do is have each strip will have whatever colors it needs in it. But you're perfectly fine if you just want to fold the edges over and stitch the strip down. And Polly's, I noticed she did that too. So, but this and 3D, I love keeping a landscape or seascape or whatever. I love keeping that in the system. And in fact, Saturday when we get together for our group sew, I'll make sure I'm working on my undersea quilt because I've had some of you say, I can't wait for more of your undersea quilt. So I'm going to do it. This week I just couldn't quite get going. So another thing is I have a Myrtle Beach quilt party in January. And so I got my folder going for it because the way I stay organized is every special event. I have a folder, I mark it, Now these are plasticized, so I put stickers that I can peel off and reuse again. But luckily, Lisa and I both got our first choice of sparrow quilt. I looked up, in fact, when we do show and tell, I'll show you all the different sparrow quilt variations. But I, the other day, thought I've got to get the fabric in. And I probably could shop my stash, but I just wanted a look. And I thought, okay. So I looked, first I went on fabric, all the different fabric stores and checked fabric, endless checked fabric. And then finally I was getting so frustrated. I had spent hours and so and I had spent hours on it. And if this is something, when I see that Laura said she loves sparrow quilts, if you remember, next summer we are going to do a couple classes, at least one good class, and sparrow quilt could be the one I teach you. But I looked through I had gone on Pinterest and was looking and looking and looking, and I made a folder of different kinds of sparrow quilt colorations. And I got so frustrated just trying to find a fabric that did it for me. I said, no, go to your folder, bring up sparrow quilts. This one caught my eye. I love how the colors are so subtle. I'm a big fan of a blue green, and this would go really nice upstairs in one of my rooms. So here is the pattern that I have. I found these colors, and I first went to Marshall's Dry Goods, but there I figured I'm going to try to copy pretty close to this. So what I ended up doing, I couldn't find enough solids from Marshall's because these are really subtle colors. And so I then went to Missouri Star. And oh my goodness, I definitely paid more at Missouri Star, but I got the perfect shade. So I only had to get 6 fabrics, and the background, and I'm trying to think, I think my background that I got was called Nantucket, and it's a wonderful oceany sea blue green, and I think it's going to be really pretty. And then I picked out each of these colors in either Moda Solids or Bella, which I think is made by Moda too. So now they're on their way. So now I can relax with that. And, but boy, I spent hours. So it's really nice knowing that's done. So, okay. So now I got that taken care of. Put these in here. After making the cauliflower soup, I'm so happy today. Mark is doing dinner and he put something in the crock pot and I'm starting to smell it. So that's nice. All right. I think I've just about talked about everything except I didn't work on my undersea quilt today. I told myself to do it. I'm a little bit mad at myself. I just haven't been in the mood. And I've had a hard time being creative. Well, I started something this week because I saw the cutest little turkey. And so, guess what I have spent all morning working on? And this is why I was late. This is what I made up. And if anyone here wants to make this, I will make up an official pattern. And because what I was thinking about, I was looking at some of the turkey patterns and I was thinking, you know what they are? They're just the, oh gosh, they're just the wedges. And in fact, where is the wedge ruler? when I was waiting the other day for my granddaughter, I got this wedge ruler out and I took out all these Thanksgiving color fabrics. It does look like Groucho Marx. And so then I just cut using this wedge ruler, I cut all of these um, tie shapes, I guess you want to call them, kind of like a grandma's fan. And then I thought, well, I was first thinking I was going to arch these over, but then I thought, well, no, feathers kind of come to a point. Then I didn't plan on how many of these things. Oh, that is so cute, Mary. I should put long hair on him or, fun, a great hat. And so I didn't plan on how many of these feathers to make. So I had enough to do 2 rows. And what I'm going to end up doing, because I was looking at a picture of turkeys, is I'm going to take a little thinned white paint and put white tips on the feathers, which will make each row stand out better. And so I was trying to think, how am I going to make this turkey? And the thing is, I didn't want to do a cartoon face quite, but I didn't want to do it too realistic because that's not funny. And I kind of wanted him to be funny. And so then I said, well, this turkey does not want to end up on the table for Thanksgiving. So then I said, oh, puff paint? Absolutely. So then I said, I know what. He's going to be incognito. So that's when I thought, and that way I didn't have to worry what kind of eyes to make him. He's plopped, they're kind of under him. And then look at this. I took this pretend vinyl stuff and made a little suitcase. And I'm going to sew, I've got it stuffed right now with scraps of batting. I'm going to sew the suitcase on. So what he's doing is he's saying, okay, you go ahead and thanks for the invitation, but I'm headed out. So, so anyway, and he's just supposed to, the fabric was only this wide. So I just said, and I don't know, I think he's really cute. And I took a marker and he's got batting under him so that when I sew, and I glued on this little handle for the suitcase, and the suitcase is going to go right there. Oh, no, you know what? I love that, Lisa. Lisa says put a Christmas hat on him, and that way he can be a Christmas turkey too. But I hope you like it, and I just got excited, and it's the first time I have felt very creative. So creative that a sharp dressed bird. Yeah. I got so excited. That's why I kind of lost track of time today. So I took these, sewed them together, and they have a raw edge at the top. And I'm not going to worry about the raw edge. I'm just going to zigzag it down. So I put stuffing under him. So then when I do the quilting, I'm just going to quilt in between the turkey feathers and maybe do a few little things. But he's got batting. His body's got a lot of batting. And his suitcase is going to have a batting. And so he's so, but I just thought, okay, he looks right cool. And this is his little waddle here, and this is part of his neck. So anyway, and I think I'm going to make sure to use, and since this is just a fun quilt, I'm going to just probably use a Sharpie to outline his head so it stands out. Technically, his head would be kind of a lightish, bluish, grayish kind of thing. And But I'll make his head stand out, and then I'll go back over this along with stitching to show that these are his wings and this is his body. So I just think he's cute. And then I'll put some backing and batting on it, and then quilt, an outline quilt, quilt in the ditch of the feathers, quilt under here, and try to leave him nice and puffy. And this is part of his little waddle. Mark said he has a necktie on, and it's like, well, no, it's really his little waddle, um, but anyway, I just thought he was cute. So, okay. So I will make a pattern and give you the measurements of this. I will draw these patterns out, and I will get it on the site tonight because you need time to make it for Thanksgiving. But this part was real easy. This is, let me see what degree. In fact, you know what I'll do if you don't have this ruler? I'll draw this shape on one of the papers. And this is a 10-degree wedge, 10 degrees. So that means if you were going to do a circle of these wedges, you would need 36 of them for 360-degree circle. So I will draw the shape of the wedge and the length, and then you just take and cut the fabric at the top of the wedge, whether you want it curved or the spiky. And I will count how many wedges you need. I will make the exact pattern of his head, his waddle, this part of the waddle, his beak right here. And in fact, I will draw a little, I'll give him his beak a little shape here. So, but anyway, if you like it, and if you want to put eyes, you can, or if you want to keep him cool with his sunglasses. But I thought about taking and putting to Florida or something, or Bermuda, headed to Bermuda. All right, so there we go. I will put this on our site, and that way, if you want to do it, you can. The background that I cut for this is 12. Okay, 24, 27, 27, 28 inches by, you see, 12 and 9, or let's say 12 and 10, 22. 22 inches by 27 inches. So, okay. And if you want to make it bigger and put legs on him, do that. I would do them funny, skinny, bow-legged rooster. But here's the first drawing I made of him. But I'm going to do actual size patterns that you can print out and use. All right. So there is Mr. Turkey. And when I want to get ready and do show and tell, because we've got some new pictures in, and then when we come back, I'm going to show you this technique on making your own geometric cloth. And this article was written by Margarita Correa. And I think that will be fun to try. And I've got everything we need right here for that. And I will find it, but I'd like to find my waterproof board, which I know is here somewhere. So let's go do show and tell, and then we will come back and I'll show you this cute little thing. All right, here we go. Let me get this set up. All right. Let me turn off this light. All right, here we go. Let's go see the show and tell. Okay. Oh, and I was going to show you Let's see. There was something I was going to show you. Oh, I know what it was. Hold on. Mm-mm. Okay, I think I better go back out here. Ah, here we are. Okay. So real quick, I'm just going to show you so you can be thinking if you want to make a sparrow quilt, what kind of color combinations you might want. And this one's I love I love that. That has such a nice colonial type feel to it, doesn't it? That is beautiful. And I think our Miss Lisa is going to um she is going to do red birds. So, and look at this one. So if you like lots of colors, there you go with that one. But I mean, they did I just love the color progression. They really put thought into it. Okay. And here is another colorway. I love having the internet like we do and having Pinterest like we do. It really helped. I mean, each of these I love. And being in a wee bit of a slump, I just had to stop and think. If it hits me and I go, ah, that's it, just go with it. Make it easy because I don't want to get bogged down in analysis paralysis because I tend to do that when I'm like this right now. All right, look at this one. Isn't this cute? So it kind of depends on the color scheme that you want. Where are you going to hang it? I mean, aren't these precious? And I do this for every project I make a folder where I have lots of ideas. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I thought, should I do fabrics that make it look like feathers? And I really was going around and around. And then I know when I reach a certain point, it's like I'm making this so difficult for myself. I need to stop and just make a decision. So, and that's what I was doing. Look at that one. Isn't that pretty? Especially out in the snow. And I love the plaids and the houndstooth. I don't know if this is flannel or fabrics that look like flannel, but they're beautiful. People are so creative. Oops, I'm not doing that one. Look at this. Now, this is like, I don't know if somewhere between a mustard color or a pumpkin color or a cheddar, but look at that. Isn't that precious? So people are so wonderfully creative and they share the pictures of their work. So we can come in and go, ooh, I like that. Or I'm not sure about that. It really helps us make our decisions. Oops. Okay, here we go. Sometimes while I'm looking for sparrow pictures, I see pictures of other ones. And it's like, ooh, and I love all the colors in that one. So pretty. And I'm excited about using all solids because, it's been a while since I did a lot of solids. Look at that. Now hey, Miss Lisa, that looks a lot like what you might want to use. And I love it because they did like burgundy reds. And then I'm not sure what the three little triangles color is, but it looks like a taupe, so just, oh, isn't that neat? Ah, look at this. Just love it. And this will also give me ideas on how am I going to quilt it. This is very attractive. That probably would have been a second choice. But aren't these wonderful? And I like to pick unusual backgrounds if I can. So look at that. Isn't that cute? I think these quilts, I believe, are gonna be made in stripes. And so you just have to figure out where to put what fabric. And they give you a coloring with the pattern. They give you a coloring sheet so you can work out. And I love how one bird has this bright yellow. That's so cool. Makes him stand out. But isn't this cute? And I'm glad to be doing this one because it's going to give me a little break. That exploding heart and the here is one of the coloring sheets, which makes it real easy to plan your quilt. Oh, look at that. That's adorable. Yeah. Oh, now look at this one. This is totally different. Reminds me of canaries, but so there's so many ideas out there. And when you get ready to do a quilt, before you just purchase fabric, take a look, see what other people have done and what things that you can learn from what they've done, what things you like. So I just that'll give you a little idea of how to go about planning out your own quilt. Okay, now let's go to show and tell. I one time remember I was taught by a woman who said, always make one sample block before you cut out all your fabrics. You might not like the result. That really worried me. But I still did that on one of my quilts and I hated the combination. This was very early on, probably in the 90s somewhere. But that's another reason that I look up and see what other people did and get ideas from what they did so that I can be happier with the result that I'm going to choose. And it's not that I'm trying to copy necessarily, but in fact I tweaked two of the colors in that quilt to make it my own. This is from Alberta. And she said, I'm trying to remember, it was something about her 80th birthday. And her sister took her to Alaska. I don't know if it was an Alaskan cruise or what, for her 80th birthday. Look at this and see the Alaska she put in there. How wonderful to make a keepsake quilt to remind you of a very special time. Isn't that nice? October 2023. So, Alberta, thank you for sharing it with us. And you did a beautiful job with that quilt and the lettering, all of it. It's just lovely. Okay, so thank you, Miss Alberta. And now I'm going to go to, let's see. I want to no, I don't think I got anything from, okay, here we go. So here, Miss Bonnie has been busy as she usually is. I don't think this woman ever just says, and today I'm going to do nothing. This is a very, very busy woman. We'll bring this up a little bit bigger. And I'm sorry it's a wee bit fuzzy. Making it bigger like that can cause problems. Let me see. Can I bring it down just a little? What I wanted to show you is the beautiful edging stitches she's doing on this. They are delicate and lovely. So she is so talented. We have very talented group. Here's a Noelle red work that she's working on. So she's done this top and bottom border, and then she'll work on the actual word. And then look at this. This is so cute. Isn't that sweet? Shenanigans. Oh man, something when you are up to something. But I just think that's so cute with the little pink flamingo birdies. Isn't that cute? Okay. And then this was a pattern. She saw a free pattern that was available. I love that. A gnome Santa. This she's got all done in time for Thanksgiving. And her Noel again. I guess we're back at the beginning. So thank you, Miss Bonnie, for showing us all of that. Let's see who else. Now we're going to go to all right. And Miss Debbie has sent me some good new things to show you. I love this fall wall hanging. I love the wonderful binding. Let me zoom in and show you. And don't you just love it when somebody finishes their quilts, unlike me? But isn't that a great binding? Really, really nice. Now let me bring it back down a little. But very nice with the pumpkin fabric. I love it. Enjoy. All right. Then the next one. I love her Alex Anderson hand. And you know, the color she chose, if she frames that and puts that up on the wall, it's going to be beautiful. A nice heirloom. And then her wonderful confetti quilt. Love it. And look at this wonderful fall quilt. Wonderful colors. And she sent me this to enjoy. That looks like a future art quilt to me. I love all the shades of pink. So thank you, Miss Debbie. All right. And now Debbie's in Houston, I think, visiting family. So that's wonderful. Now, these pictures are going to be from Dolores. And while you're looking at these, I want to read the wonderful note that she put in. Whoops. Now, every time I do that, you would think I'd get better at that. I'm going to make y'all ill. I better be careful. They put a new, on this program I use, they put a new enlarger. And, but look at these amazing mushrooms she did. All right. From Dolores, she said, we installed the Appalachian Trail quilt in the client's home last weekend. They were over the moon. Oh, that is so nice. She said they were a pleasure to work for. They were so appreciative. Then the University of Kentucky health arts directors are coming to her house this past week to purchase 11 pieces of art. And she just had new cataracts done. And she said, by selling all this art, now her lenses are paid for. So she also, I forgot to tell you, she had her last cataract done this past week. So we hope she's seeing beautifully now. Then she found out the day before it was published that her art is featured in the Kentucky Monthly Christmas gift catalog. How wonderful is that? And then she said on the day she wrote this, she found out this morning that her Not a Llama, remember her Not a Llama quilt, is going to be in the finishing touches section of the new 3100 series of Quilting Arts TV, episode 3101. So, if you watch Quilting Arts like I do, we're going to get to see her Not a Llama in that section. And the finishing touches is when they sit down and look at a couple special quilts done by people and talk about what makes them special. So that's going to be so much fun. So here's her first mushroom quilt, and I love the irregular shape. Great mushrooms. And then look at these mushrooms. And I love all the different colors. So I have a feeling she sells these things. She is a true artist, meaning she promotes and sells her work. She takes commissions for specific ideas. She attends art shows and sells her work. She's a very accomplished artist, and we are so proud to have her as part of this group. So, congratulations, Dolores. We are so proud of you. All right. And now, who is next? Very devoted. I don't know if y'all remember, but when we first met Dolores, she had broken a hip or a leg and was confined to the downstairs and couldn't move, was in a wheelchair. It was a mess. And she has totally healed and has just come back better than ever. This is from our Joni, and it's a beautiful fall quilt along with this work of art. Isn't that just beautiful? If Monet did a fall quilt, this would be it. Beautiful. Thank you, Miss Joni. And I hope you get this message, Miss Joni, and you can meet with us Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And here is Julie's amazing quilt that ended up being raffled to a veteran who was so pleased. And she had to copy the medals, get it all just right. Isn't that wonderful? Julie, you are so talented, hon. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go to Miss Mary's wonderful quilt of leftover yarns. So, like little leftover treasures. Love it, Miss Mary. And I hope you're still having fun sewing with your quilt student. I think that is amazing. Here's one of the quilts that they were working on. Love it. Okay, now let's go to, Meltem. Okay, Meltem. All right. Look at what Miss Meltem has done. I have a kit similar that's been sitting in a drawer for 10 years, waiting for me to get good enough to quilt it. Look at what she has done. It is absolutely beautiful. So that's one of those. I think I need to start a project list this year and stop waiting until, because this is magnificent and she can now enjoy this. How wonderful is that? And this is the dahlia, where it's a like a watercolor looking dahlia design and whole cloth. And what you do is you add the quilting that brings it to life. And she has done an outstanding job. I love it. Things like the pebbling, love it. But look here, where she has left these little island dots, and around them she's done the quilting to push back the background and let those dots come forward. Look at the checkerboard pattern here, where she has sewed heavily here, not sewed there, to give that wonderful three-dimension look. We are so proud of you, Melton. You are really, this was one of her early quiltings where she was trying to learn, and then to see that dahlia quilt, boy has she progressed. It's absolutely beautiful. Way to go, our Miss Malcolm. Okay, so thank you for sending that. And then, wait a minute, I think there's two more. Hold on. Okay, here is another angle of that. And here, look at this. She even included a video so you can see the whole thing. Isn't that wonderful? Thank you, Melton, for including that too. It's so pretty. All right. And then to remind you that she has an Etsy store. And here are some of her printable bookmarks. So Way to go. Way to go, Miss Malcolm. And just to let you, let me see. Nope, I think I told you everything about that. Okay. All right. Isn't that just beautiful? I was like, oh my gosh, that is exquisite. And oh, I'll show you since our Miss Pat is here. I'll show you her wonderful fall design. Look at that wonderful toy truck and the way she put a wonderful fall design. I love that. Way to go, Miss Pat. All right, now we go back to show and tell and see. Oh, yeah, we've got a couple more. All right, here is Miss Polly's folder. And I apologize if you sent me any pictures today, then I'm sorry we're not seeing them yet. But this is the fall quilt she did earlier, which I love because that touch of purple really makes this quilt pop. All right. Then I'm going to show you her previous fall quilt before I show you her most current one. This is just beautiful. Whoa. I wish you could see how little of a space I bumped that, but it just made it so big. But isn't this beautiful? I love her colors. Just beautiful. Great use of tree fabric. Just wonderful. All right, now, are you ready? Drum roll, please, for her newest. She did her own confetti quilt. And what is really neat is it looks like she bunched up her red fabric. Now, notice the wonderful curved lines she gave her landscape. Look at this. Look at the cloud going through. Look at the different striations of sky color. It is gorgeous. Polly, this is beautiful. And I wrote you back anyway. So, but isn't this great? I love it. And I love how tactile, with these leaves, they almost look like you could crunch them. They look so real. And let me show you a close up of this so you can really appreciate the work she put into it. So she crunched them up. Now let me see. It says, Polly says, I seem to be stuck on trees. The leaves are confetti and the rest is strip piece. For the confetti, I made my confetti and put it between 2 sheets of water soluble stabilizer and sewed to get all of the pieces connected. I didn't wash all the stabilizer out, so my pieces ended up crisp and it made a 3D effect. I've borrowed a few of Angela Walter's books from the library to practice my free motion. I want to eventually make a whole cloth quilt. Isn't she something? Now this, remember, she is our new quilter. I mean, this is not what you expect from a new quilter, is it? But she's got a vivid imagination, strong creativity, and I'm sorry, this silly thing is not working right. But she has a strong creativity and willingness to try new things. I just think that's fabulous. I never would have thought of putting the confetti between water soluble stabilizer. And that way you can do the stitches all over top. And then when you wash it out, then you're left with just the stitches and the fabric. And what she's saying, instead of rinsing it out really well, you just rinse it out part way, just a little way, and leave the body that the stabilizer gives to it. So that's fantastic. Polly, I am so proud of you. You are very talented. And then our SJ, our last look at her wonderful Halloween quilt. We love our SJ. Okay. So I think we're done. Let me go back and look just to make sure, but I think we are done with our pictures. Yay. I think we are done. So, all right. So now let's move back to get ready to work on today's little fun project. And it's just a different way to look at fabrics. And let me see. I thought of something a little bit earlier. Okay. Here it is. Instead of just doing something on white, I thought, well, you know what? That's not going to show. That's a little too dark. Let me go grab a paler fabric real quick. Okay. All right. So what you're going to do with this project, let me, I know that I have my protective sheet here somewhere. I know what I'll do. Since I don't know where the protective, here we go. I can use this. I'll use this protective ironing sheet. All right, I'll pull this right here. Let me bring the camera up. All right, bring the light over. Come on, camera. Stand up a little bit more. All right, so this is just to protect my surface. I'm going to start out with, this is a white on white fabric that I thought would be a pretty good one. And if any of you have, this is 1/4 inch masking tape. And the reason I have this is because I used to do a lot more hand quilting, and this would help me keep my lines straight. So what I'm going to do is do a few different designs here. Whoops. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to pin or tape this. Let me grab some painter's tape. All right, I'm going to tape this fabric onto this sheet. Now, if you don't want to use your iron on press sheet, you can put it on any kind of plastic or surface so that you don't mess up anything underneath of it. And so what I'm going to do is pop some pieces around like this to keep this steady, because you will need to keep this steady when it comes time to use markers. So first thing I do is I'm going to pull off a good sized piece of this masking tape. This is 1/4 inch masking tape. Now let's say you don't have any of this. Well, then you can just take regular masking tape and cut it into thin strips. Now, it's not the easiest thing to do, but you could still do it. So I'm going to put these lines diagonally like this. Oh, Meltem is here. Yay. I'm so glad. I hope you got to see your beautiful works. They are incredible. All right. So now I've got these lines going this direction. And I'm going to treat this as if it's a quarter because it takes a while to put down all this tape and I don't want it to get boring. But, okay. So then now I'm going to come in this way. And I'm going to, instead of doing it perfect, I'm going to do it kind of wonky. Okay, but you can do it any way you want. And it's just important, you're going to use fabric markers or whatever you have to try to use. But, okay, so this, and I think I'll just do 2 more little pieces and then show you what we're gonna do next. Let me grab my ruler. Okay. All right. And I'm not going to do all the way down. I better tear this off so I'll remember. All right. So now you have the tape and press it down good. And I will do this one and I'm going to do some on a lighter shade to show you. And you can take these fabric markers. They have 2 ends on them and I think, let me see. Aha. So one's bigger than the other. And what you're going to do is put this ruler on and run it along the edge of partly on the tape, partly on the fabric. See how I'm doing? Partly on the tape and mostly on the fabric, but partly on the tape to get a nice crisp line. Okay, so then I'm going to do another one. Let me see. I'll do one of these others. And just to remember, um, you're not going to probably go cross over. Keep it on one side of the tape because I think the markers, if you're not careful, I think the markers can mix in the colors. So you don't want to really draw one color right over top another one. So just be careful and keep your lines a little segmented. Whoops. Hold on. Let me do this better. I think I need to move this here. All right. Because I want to be partly on the tape and oops, I wasn't supposed to go over that. Okay. Stop at this and then do this. And I guess what you can do to make it look really plaid is to do a kind of over and under idea. All right, let's get a different color and come this way. And I'm going to try not to touch the color so that, okay. And then here, oops, and I didn't make sure that this touched the tape. It's important that you touch the tape because the tape gives it a strong, definite line when you tear it off. Oops, I know why it didn't work as good. I didn't have it on the wider end. So now, I wonder what Mark is doing. I am hearing the dogs barking. Sorry about that. All right, yeah. So put your ruler where you want the fabric side, and then run your marker right along the tape edge to make sure. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to do another one real quick. Which one? I think I will do this right here. So just put your ruler on the fabric side of the tape. Your marker will run along that edge of tape. And if it gets too far from the tape and you miss something, then just kind of go back and run it right at the edge of the tape. All right, and then I'm going to spin this around. This is a way for you to try to make your own, graphic fabrics. And especially if you're doing like a sampler where you don't need that much, and you can make your own colors, all of that. So I think it's going to be a really cool thing to do. All right, now let's go for purple. We'll try something a little more exciting here. So I put the ruler about 1/8 of an inch away from the tape, depending on the size of the tips of your markers. It's all going to depend on your markers. But it's a pretty simple way. And then once the tape is all off, then you're going to want to come back with an iron and iron the fabric to set the colors in. Just making sure you're partly on that tape. And then I'll do this one. And I'm not having a problem with them running over each other. So I'm kind of just I'm just running now because I'm in a hurry. And I don't think they're gonna run too much. We'll see. All right, so now I've got 2 purples. Make sure you really get that edge good. Otherwise, it won't be as dramatic. All right, let's try some pink in here. And we're going to run the pink this way. Wow, this pink's almost red. Okay. All right. And we'll do the reveal in just a moment. And then we'll do a little bit on the yellow just to see how does that look. So you kind of get used to putting it about 1/8 of an inch away. And definitely touch that tape. Oh, I want one more of the so-called pink. I'm not sure this is coming out really pink. Hoping we'll get a woman named Cindy come visit us at some point. She was kind of asking, what do you do? And I said, oh, well, we talk, but I do demonstrations and we do show and tell. But she was in the retreat, and I really liked getting to know her. Okay. I can see on the lighter colors that you don't want to cross and negate the lighter colors. All right, and then let's try this blue. I'll come right down this one. Okay, do this other side. Okay. So, and Miss Polly talked about wanting to do a whole cloth quilt. Oh, that has been one of my thoughts too. One day, I thought of actually doing it by hand. So maybe I'll wait and see. That would be a good thing to do when you're traveling and you can't take a sewing machine. But okay, boy, we're almost done. We're only going to need one other color. We're almost done. Then the reveal is the fun part. Now, if you get this 1/4 inch tape, I was thinking that I probably would do fine trying to make squiggly lines with it, because 1/4 inch tape has a little more give to it. So I'm going to not only do this, but I'm going to try some squiggly lines. All right, now. Okay. And I just saw one more line, and I hate to leave it because when I peel these, when you peel them, you're going to peel everything. So I hate to leave it. So let me just get this real fast. And then we will take off the tape and see what we've created. And then once, do not iron it until the tape is off. I think you might end up with quite a mess. All right. Are you ready for the reveal? But think of all the different geometric patterns that you could do with this idea. So now, and when you pull up one piece of tape, it'll probably bring another one, at least one more with it. Okay. I did a good job of pushing down the tape because I didn't want any of the markers to bleed under the tape. Okay. Oh, I do see I missed one line, but that's okay. It was only one. All right. Just peel this off. And I'm moving the tape away just in case some of the marker wants to stick on the tape. But you know, if you had to make your own thinner tape, you could take the masking tape and very carefully mark a line. I'll show you. I'll show you. If you don't have 1/4 inch, I'll show you how to make your own. All right, there we are. So now, because of the outlining, I'm going to pull these off so I can iron. I've got my iron heating up. And I'm already on a pressable mat. Make sure, you know, whatever it is can handle the heat. And these are fabric markers, which means the ink is supposed to be color fast once you've heat set it. And I saw this and thought, what an interesting idea. Let me see if I turn on this light. Yeah, see how the ink that's on the tape does tend to rub off on your hands, so be careful. And I do see where I missed this line right there. Now, if I were to go in, I don't know, let's just see. If I were to go in, can I fill it in? It won't be quite as sharp edged and dramatic, but there we go. I'll come back with my iron. And two, I would have a press cloth with the iron in case any of the marker were to stay on there. But isn't that cool? So this way you can make your own fabrics, your very own fabric designs for a project that you're working on. And like I said, I think, let me try something. I think that you could take the 1/4 inch. Well, it's probably not going to be, it won't be exactly smooth, but I think that I would like to try to figure out how to get some curly lines in here as well. Now let me turn this back off and see if it brings it a little more in. All right. So this was in the Quilting Arts magazine in 2022, and you can see the different ones that she did here and the different colors that you can use. And now here, this is the design once the tape is removed. This is red tape, so it just shows, but here's the design. And it looks like she went back with a marker and did little dots along this edge to give it a slightly fancier appearance. So you could always do that. And I like drawing on fabric. I like creating my own designs. I think so. Do you see where right here, by putting the dots, it gave it a slightly different look? You probably could do something like this too. Just make it your own way. And here maybe you could do, so there's just all kinds of things that you can go from here and just have fun with. And fabric markers are not expensive. These here are dual tip, and I love the brush tip with them. So those are the markers, and they last forever because I just use them in small projects, and they're a lot of fun. So then, oh, okay. So I was going to say, all right, let's see what it would do on a small piece of fabric, a pattern fabric, a marker fabric. Hold on, I'm not going to do the whole thing on here, just to show you what it could look like. I'm just going to do a little edge. Let me turn it over this way. Okay, do this little edge right here. Mhm. All right, I got the tape on there. Let me see. So on here, I could just run a ruler, but we'll just to do a quick demonstration. All right. I'm trying not to turn this around as much because I just want to do it quickly and show you. Okay. All right. Whoops, that tape wasn't pushed down good, so that it's probably going to look a little sloppy. And one more color. Let's do a green. Oh, yeah. I chose the darker green so to show up against the yellow. I'm going to have them go. Okay. Whoops. Don't use the small end, the bigger end. So that's also another hint that you may want to use a marker with a bigger end. All right. So now these are done. And whoops. Let's see what this is going to look like on an already colored fabric. Okay, so there you go. You can do it on any of your fabric. Hello, Giovanna. What a beautiful name. Decidio, beautiful name. All right, so here is what it looks like on the a yellow gold fabric. Here's what it looks like on a white. But I think it's a pretty good little technique, especially if you want to try something with just fabric that looks a little different. So I hope you like that. And I think now we've come to the end of the day. And I know that y'all probably have house cleaning to do, pumpkin pies to make. So the house cleaning, that's not the most fun. Pumpkin pies, that's a little more fun. Although I'm in charge of sweet potato pies. So, all right. So that just shows you with, oh, I know what I was going to show you. How to cut masking tape. If you don't have a thin, and you know what, you could even do this with curl swirls too. And what I would do is just take a pencil and try to eyeball it, but you could always come in and make little dots the same distance away from the edge, and then just come and connect the dots like this. Oops, you probably can't see that good. Let me try a pen. Let me see. But you could come in and make little, let me just try this. One way or another, we're going to get it. All right, you can come in with a marker and just make dots. It's easier to make dots than it is to draw a line of a certain size. Then come back and just connect the dots so that you can get what's going to be 1/4 of an inch of tape. Then come in with one of these little razor knives and just lightly, don't press hard, because if you press hard, you'll cut through too many layers of tape. But just a light scoring like this. And I'm doing it very lightly because you'll ruin the whole roll of tape if you're not careful. And then just peel this up. And there you go. And now you have 1/4 of an inch of tape. Now let me see if it's going to work to do a swirl pattern. So I'm going to just draw a gentle swirl, like on just this one side. And then if I can carefully with the blade, carefully follow the swirl. Okay. And it works. So now I have a swirled edge. You see that? So, yes, be careful with the razor knife. That is sure. But now you can make your own widths of tape from your regular masking tape. And by putting it on the fabric and using a fabric-based fabric marker, you can then make your own fabric. So, okay, and don't forget, we're going to do a live sew together, live sew in this Saturday. Oh, you know what? I've run out of time and I want to give you the patterns. So we'll do the drawing next week. Next Sunday, we'll do a drawing for the free patterns. But don't forget, Saturday, we're going to meet here at 11 o'clock New York time. So change it based on your own time. And we're going to sew together Saturday. And then we'll do the next regular show on Sunday. And I will go ahead and type it in real quick again. Our time to quilt. That's at twc.com. All right. So there's my email. And if you would like to get a link to the Jitsi, which is it's kind of like a Zoom, but the Jitsi chat, and that way we can visit with each other. I think it'll be fun. So the suitcase is not on the turkey, but I want to hold him up one more time because I think our incognito turkey is right cute. So here is our little Thanksgiving. And I will post on our Groups.io site the actual pattern for our turkey tonight. I'll go upstairs and make a pattern for him and have it up for you. All right. All I have to do now is just get batting and backing and outline quilt them. First, I'm going to stitch the pieces down, then outline quilt them, and I'm done. And if you use invisible thread, it makes the job much easier. All right, everyone. Thank you for spending this time with me. You are all very dear people, and I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving. If your country doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, then I wish you a wonderful fall week. Stay warm. Keep your joints nice and warm so they don't ache, because that's what happens. But have a really good week ahead. And I will see you next Saturday for our Jitsi Sew Together, and next Sunday for the undersea quilt. We really need to finish that. I know, I'm so sorry. But thank you for spending this time with me. Have a great week. Eat some turkey for me. Bye-bye, everybody. Gotta get this. Here we go. Bye-bye.